quick than me. But since we're turning on the stream, I'm gonna do you a solid and not throw you under the bus today.
No, everybody else will do that on
I will
Friday.
consider. No, I was gonna say I'll consider it, but I probably won't do it.
Oh man. So, by the way, Maya, Cook, and Robert, you missed a great time last night of me buying children off the internet.
Yep.
Pardon? You said
And
you're
then-
streaming right now?
And then having $1 to his name.
Yeah. I had a dead end. Apparently, I really hated that I had a dead end job all night, even though I'm making $75 an hour as a regional manager, and just bought a child, and an extension on the house. I was
Say
playing
cap
Sims.
right now.
No,
He was
Okay.
doing that. I was feeding my motorcycle sandwich.
Playing Sims. Playing
Yeah,
Sims.
Sims 4.
Cameron, let
yeah.
it go. Cameron, let
I'm
it
gonna
go.
blow up a Walmart in Minecraft.
God damn it. Oh man, no, it was a good time last night though. Inedible plus Sims 4, Robert, or any of the Sims games. I recommend it, my man. Try it out, hanging out with your friends on call. It's hilarious as shit. I made a random guy and just fucking ran with it, and he hated his life because he wasn't able to do music, and then I switched his career, and he still hated his career, so I said, fuck it, we're going
You
back.
didn't even let him go to 1 day of work. Then he switched his career again, pushing the days to work off.
I need more money. He's gotten there. He doesn't have to live much longer.
No,
We're
dude,
good.
it was worse. Because when you change careers, you have to take 2 days off. You were like an hour away from going to work, and they changed careers suddenly.
Yep. Man, I wish that's how it worked in real life, that I just get 2 days off randomly after switching careers, but I've never had that one. Every time I've left a job, it's immediately starting the next day. So, alright though. Hello everyone. Welcome to a last-minute Peaceful Future. Meaning the DM totally has things fully planned and has everything set up for his encounters and maps and remembers everything. So last time we left off, unfortunately, Hawken was not able to join us at the time, due to a work conflict, which was fully understandable. So the party had a little fun down in a dungeon, for a little bit, and after getting the crud kicked out of them slightly and managing to get through about 2 encounters, we ended session there because I believe D&D and Beyond had crashed, if I remember right.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what you missed last week, Cook. D&D Beyond crashed on us completely. The website went fully down.
Oh,
Yeah. So we didn't get to finish up the dungeon, sadly. So we come back to the party having left the dungeon, having chosen not to continue it, after confirmation of Hawkins' canon finally being done and word being sent that he is ready to move on to the next town with you lot. Party kind of realizing the situation, poked around a bit more in the dungeon, but unfortunately was not able to find anything. And rolled just well enough not to suffer any consequences for it. God damn it for Lucius. But yes, so we come back to the party having returned to the city of Latito, or the town of Latito. Hawken with his cannon having managed to finally be handed off by the strange female dwarven smith that seemed to have beaten the hell out of it and restored the cracks. Also kind of adding a couple of additions here and there. You lot find yourselves... Yeah. Yes?
just to confirm, it's the Windsor's Dormant Cannon, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Alright, I'll add that to my equipment.
You lot find yourselves back in the town of Latito, midday. World news having just been aired in confirmation that the Firecrest Kingdom has been founded. Yes, Temidar.
I'll make sure that everybody knows that the world news found out about Hawken, because I'm the only one with the bracelet right now.
That
They
is
already
true.
knew about me.
The rest of the party would have heard it as you were listening in, minus Hawken, who would have been in town on the way back, so...
Also, Sigrun, you might want to go deal with getting the airship. The guy doesn't like me.
What did you do?
He likes the Scrofe, though. It was great.
What did you do to make him not like
Nothing,
you?
really.
Okay. Pebble, what did he do?
I'll explain on the way.
Okay, buddy, I trust you.
Great, I'll fact check.
Uh, Alright, so as you lot make it to the center of town, seeing that Hawken now has his cannon on his back, it's shrunk down to a bit smaller of a size and actually fits comfortably now. You lot look a little more battered and bruised, but so far no permanent injuries. Sigrun's breath still smelling god-awful. The scent still not dying out, although the creature may have been killed. Hawken, for reference, that was something else you'll miss. You can ask Sigrun about later.
We told him about that pre-show.
Oh, okay, good. You did tell him how you decided to eat the poisonous plant. All right.
The demon
Yeah,
plant test.
yeah. And listen, I knew it would kill it. You know, technically, me digesting it didn't. The alcohol did, but we didn't know what else damage would kill it. Big
Deca moment.
Yeah, truly. Sigrun was curious, and as any curious child, immediately put the thing in their mouth.
No,
As Wraith has learned from The Sims.
To be fair, I think Cameron was the one who made the joke for me to do it. I just committed.
But yeah,
I did.
so as you lot come together in the center of town, and Hawken rejoins you lot, it's been about a day since your time in the dungeon, roughly. You didn't get any reward from the quest at the tavern where you had picked up the request, but you lot have come back with nothing to show for it. What would you all like to do?
Well, we didn't come back with nothing. We at least cleared partially, and we can say that it was done by Hawken's order to help out the city,
True.
which will spread his name better.
I mean, the World News has done that. That's true. But
Also
yes,
wearing his crest, so they
Yes.
would probably already know.
that is true. The House of Fire crest is now emblazoned upon Lucius and his armor. So as you lot come to the center of town and gather together, what would you all like to do?
I can either I can show everybody the way to the airship shop.
Well, he has to make sure that you didn't come back. Remember?
I'm just showing the way. I'm not even approaching
No,
the door.
I'll-
I will wait a ways away.
I'll lead the way.
I will
All
wait.
I
my-
know is I need a lot more alcohol to wash down whatever I just fucking ate.
What
And
did
I'm
you
not
I'll
eat?
wait
using
by the
my
city
good
gate.
alcohol for
You
that.
can let me know when you get it, and I can.
Sigrun
fly
ate the
up to it.
demon.
You ate a demon?
Yes, she
It,
did.
It was
was a plant
a sight to see.
thing. We couldn't really kill it. I pulled it out the wall. I ate it. It's stomach issues, but I'm alive, so it must not have been deadly.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I could if I sadly don't have anything I can offer for you to research it, but if you wait a few days time or so,
Sigrun, none of
you
us wanna
magic
research that.
types.
But yeah, I'll lead the way to the shipyard.
Okay.
To the guys.
So who's all gonna be going with the Pebble to follow to this?
I will.
Me.
I also will.
I will be waiting by the city gate since that man does not like me.
All right, Temidar, as you kind of hang out, you kind of stand out front watching, and as the party continues on down the dirt road, it's about a mile's walk. It's not too terrible, but it's not exactly something you'll be able to watch from the distance. But as you do, give me a perception check while you're standing at the gate.
All right. That's a nat
hold
1,
on.
so I don't see
Oh,
shit.
Lord.
What's your
Oh,
Unless
no.
my
modifier?
passive 17 catches it.
He
Uh,
got an 8.
Okay. So as you're kind of watching, thankfully the requirement was only higher than a 5, or the DC was a 5. As coming by, you see a wagon with the symbol of the Puma shop called the Puma Potion Shop, and below puts wares, and you see a little kobold, a little green kobold, noting that Somalis was more of like a reddish hue. Like fully cloaked with his little draconic horse, looking kind of like a mix of a drake and a horse, pulling the wagon. He seems to pass by, and it just seems to catch your attention as you recognize the brand as the same
I'll see
symbol
if
from
he's-
your own.
Yeah, given that it is my own, which that confirms something. If I never get to a bank again, I have money.
Assuming Somel still is alive and held up his deal with you.
Last I saw him, he was in Windsor.
True.
And then Windsor got attacked by dragons.
But as you watch,
You could certain to die after that.
he kind of passes by, and as you try to get his attention, he seems to kind of ignore you, continuing through with the guard. You notice that many of the merchants and the peasants coming by from the countryside seem to be a little bit kind of nervous and sketchy of new people. Most of them kind of avoiding eye contact whenever you try to make it, Demodar.
That's fair. I mean, strange man, strange world.
Mm-hmm.
Weird shit has happened.
Yep.
Strange furry.
Okay. But for the rest of you, as you continue on with the Pebble, it takes a good 10-20 minutes of walking. It's mostly just dirt road, grass, and you see the long line of merchants and farmers kind of passing by. Most of what takes long is the fact that the road, while is somewhat muddy and a little bit annoying to walk on, and the sides of the road are just as badly traveled. So it's not the most comfortable footing. It is considered difficult terrain, but it doesn't matter in the situation. As you lot finally come to the airship shop, you see the rather large brown barn in front, the small house that says has a secondary shop, and then you see the large kind of wooden walls set up that have ladders that lead up to the floating airships, as well as what you notice behind the walls are ships that seem to be set on the ground. With no showing of how they're transported. You also notice that off to the side of the barn is a very large open fenced area with different kind of horses of different breeds and such that seem to be roaming and freely working. As you lot come though up to the front house, the office house, you hear from inside as the shutters billow open the shouting of a very annoyed sounding, almost Viking-like voice or Norse-like voice of Carviel, who you immediately recognize, Pebble, as he comes stomping out with his pipe in one hand, his eyes kind of looking very tired and exhausted, his suit covered in bits of black gunk, some blood that's obviously a couple days old, and what definitely is not a tomato, but probably is a tomato. As he comes walking, big blunderbuss on his back, and as he kind of comes stomping out and looking at each of you, he kind of stops and stares at Sigrun. I want you all to give me a perception check.
Oh,
I imagine it's not smell or hearing.
Yay!
No, it's sight.
Okay.
17.
Nat 20!
Okay.
16.
23, baby, let's go.
All right, all of you roll insight checks then, as you do
Oh,
notice.
okay.
Okay.
13.
Okay, Hawken fails.
30-20.
30-20. Okay, Lucius succeeds. Pebble, man. Ouch. That's
Don't
two
worry.
sixes, my man. Get those rolls out
Don't
now.
Don't worry about
Sigrun, what'd you get?
I got an 8.
Okay, so I'm gonna message Lucius something as he's the only
Great,
one
great
who knows.
perception, shit insight, which is very Sigrun. Just a tad bit stupid.
Alright. I love the fact that the guy who turns into a fucking bear is the only one
Oh, boy.
who notices this. Oh,
He's got that sense for instincts and behavior.
yeah. Well, what do you have any comment on that part, Lucius?
Can I, elbow Sigrun on the side and be like, you might have a friend?
She looked. She's like, what? Yes, I'm aware the Pebble has joined the party recently.
Pebble's just
No.
flexing himself.
No. The GIF.
It kind of the Gif kind of walks over and starts flexing his very almost very similar to a very large dad bod. You can definitely tell he's got muscle, but he's very hefty and round. In fact, as you get a good look at him as he gets closer, he stands about only 5'4", but you can see his foot, or where he's like stepping on the ground, is slightly impacting. He is embedding himself into the ground slightly as he walks. He is black as pitch as far as his skin color, and has a very fine white, like a little bit of whiskers on his chin and on his, I guess, forward cheeks. I don't know what to call them. I'm not a biologist here. We have a veterinarian in the group, but I doubt they know what that part of the hippo's called.
Jowls?
I guess. I don't know. The part where their whiskers and little dots are. Their pores are opened up more.
That's the jowls.
Oh, there we go. And he also seems to have very bright yellow eyes. But as he kind of walks up to you lot, he looks over at Sigrun and immediately stops, very much shorter, looking up at Sigrun, and gives kind of a slight smile and goes, "Are you spoken for?"
Define spoken for.
Are you married?
Not currently, no.
Alright. Yeah, what can I
Are
do
you
your
interested?
lot for? Just kind of
She like
smiles.
shuffles it.
So what are you lot looking for? How can I help you this day? Also, where's the cat?
I made sure he didn't
Like
focus.
him.
Good. Did you eat him?
No, not my. Oh, don't. She like gets PTSD as soon as he says eat, and she's like, do not remind me.
Huh. Alright, well, what can I lot do you for?
Hawken, you want to take lead?
Look to.
Well, I don't know if I should take lead. I think
Take the lead. You're asking for a very
listen.
powerful-
You're the one who he likes. You are better off asking.
I don't know what you
Bigger than
want.
me.
He
I
likes-
know the party wants is.
Temidar would have let you know to get something that can handle war would be
Sigrun,
the best option.
we're looking for
Yes.
an airship fit for war.
An airship
As he
fit
sees
for
Hawken
war.
whispering this to you, he gets right up into Hawken's face and goes, "Are you her man?"
No.
Oh, you are funny. No, sadly, no.
Sadly,
For you,
I mean, I'm sure I think your
My wife is-
grandfather said he would
Don't
have
worry,
liked something
sir.
like that, but
don't worry, sir. My wife is dead.
He
Mine
kind
too.
yes, he is.
He blows hot air all over you, Hawken, and you can smell the whiskey from just the breath from his nostrils is just strong. As he
Am I
looks-
allowed to roll to see what kind of whiskey it is? I'm just
Yeah.
recognizing.
Go ahead, give me a perception check at disadvantage.
Okay.
I just
I
wanna.
hope he has spare
Hawken's a weird
whiskey.
guy. Alright, Hawken's very strange.
Does a
Don't judge what he
23?
didn't do.
Give me a con save.
you're gonna get drunk off this giftsy breath.
That's
You
11.
do. You get a
Contact
slight.
drunk.
You get a slight
At
buzz
least.
from it.
15. 15.
Huh?
Because the plus 4 for me near me. It's a 15.
Still, yeah, no, because the DC 16. So, yep, you're good.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
I get
as
a buzz from it,
you
nice.
get a strong sense. You've never smelled this kind of whiskey before. This is not something that you have tasted or seen in any of the lands.
Oh, that's
Oh.
new.
As he just breathes this hot air all over, he kind of turns back over to Lucius and he goes, "You smell like wet bear."
I've heard that once or
You
twice.
have a good nose.
Ah, yes, it's of course we have good noses. We give our hunters of great renown. As he pats the blunderbuss on his back, he goes, "This thing's nailed me around 3 Rakshasa in a single day, as well as a couple dragons
Oh.
in my travels."
Dragons. I've not had such the honor, but I've had many a run-in with the children, you could say.
You did
Obviously, they died.
remove the wyvern's head the one time. Or foot.
Yes,
Was it
I
foot?
did.
Mm,
I did. Here or there, parts and pieces. They get sold. They get made into things. I don't have it
You know-
on me, sadly.
You know, young lass, if you'd like, I can take you on one of my hunts sometime.
That would be great, actually. You know, And anything's an improvement from the dungeon we just experienced. Let
if
me
you
tell
want.
you, the cuisine there, not good.
Yes, always cook your prey first. Never eat it raw. That's my advice.
You know, if you want, you could come with us over to the Orklands.
Are you that one they're
True.
calling Hawken Firecrest?
Yes.
You idiot.
Yes.
You know, you declared war on the world and you want me to come and hang out in your kingdom? Yes.
You know,
You'd have to be
you know what
suicidal and
time-
stupid to do that.
listen, people always take my words for not what they were meant to be for, but
Yeah,
I live with it now.
Yeah, well, the other nations didn't take it too kindly with that declaration of war from according to the World News. You pissed a lot of people off. So why would I want to join a suicidal idiot with no homeland and no future?
To be with her.
Fair
Hey,
point.
that is a weird. I'm not property.
He turns and goes, I'll have the contract written up before the end of the day.
Good sir.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
I'm fine with this because I wanted it, but I'm not to be. You Hawken. I give myself out. Thank you very
He looks
much.
at Sigrun and goes, I'm talking about the contract to work for him. What?
Yeah.
We don't buy
No,
slaves.
no, I'm aware. No,
No,
I'm
it's
aware.
fucking
Ah.
No, it is a different. Don't worry. I'm
I
I'm
wouldn't
glad
sell
to
you,
have you on
Sigrun.
board.
You're a good friend of mine. I wouldn't sell you.
Tell you what.
More like
Of course. I mean, good luck trying. She chuckles.
He looks at you as he kind of drags you out into the store or into the house. He goes, I've got some models I'll show you from our drawing book so you can get some ideas of what you're looking for. But I'll tell you, you know what? I'm willing to give a discount in exchange for title and power, of course, as always, if you are interested. Although I do see you already have a retainer as he eyes up Lucius. Can't say you got good taste there, Mr. Hawken, but you know, sometimes
He's
you need
practically
knights.
my brother.
He looks at Lucius, looks
He's
at
a good
Hawken.
man.
Are you actually like his brother? I mean, y'all look kind of the similar. You're older.
Your brothers?
No, not
Oh.
brothers, not by blood.
Oh, of course.
Interesting. Alright, and he pulls out this booklet and he sets it down. He goes, alright, what are you looking for warships? What's your plan? What's your taste? What's your
Good.
interest?
Curious, just from past experience, do you happen to have one that can survive the astral sea? Just
Oh, yes, I can easily do that. That's no problem. My people
Oh,
are
hell
from the
yes.
Astral Sea.
really, I visited once. It was pleasant until it wasn't.
Ah, yes, there are creatures that like swim in the sea that are extremely powerful and dangerous for the main plane. Our people exist on a very small island in the Astral Sea that is non-navigatable unless you're either a Gif or you have one of these. And he pulls out this strange red rocked compass that seems to be almost like a round rock in a little pool of greenish water, and it seems to float just in the center of it. And as he kind of holds this thing out, he goes, you need one of these attached to your ship to be able to navigate the Astral Sea, and then you can pretty much go anywhere. A year's journey takes a day or an hour. Makes it a lot easier for
I think we
Terrors.
should get that. She's like looking at Hawken and the others. That one sounds like a good one.
Yeah, sure, we can have that.
Hell, with one of these babies, you might be able to even to find those sources of those damn assholes up in the space. As he looks up.
The what?
Long story. For another time. Another day. And he
Of
goes,
course.
he kind of flips through the books. He goes, alright, so what we looking for? What's your price range? What you wanting? What are you looking? What do you need?
Well-
Sigrun, how much are you willing to drop on this ship?
For a ship we can all use, so we no longer have to fucking walk on foot. Let's see. I have 50k. No, yes, 50k. Big number on me right now, and if I can get to a bank, I've got a bit more from a generous donor I can access.
Ah, a generous donor. Do you work for
Yes.
someone?
Yeah, we were working. In fact, there was a thing a bit ago, and then the key didn't work, and then it kind of fell out. I'm sure you know Lord Zarius. Yes.
His eyes go wide and go,
the necklace
oh!
she has. Yes.
He kind of closes the book and goes, you don't want any of these. And he goes and pulls out starts kind of like shuffling through one of his books under his desk.
Oh, it's
My
Peter the
God.
Last Shot.
Oh, but I
The
like
black
the
card
one.
once again.
The other, okay, I'll trust your judgment on what the
He
ships are good
pulls
for
out,
us.
and they're all. It's a full customizable, like couple, like different parts. You get to pick the pieces.
The
of the
groom
ship.
should literally say, "I want something that can kill an army of heli in one shot."
He goes. If you lot are working under Lord Zarnius himself, I have a cousin who just got hired for him. If you, as one of his head accountants, if you'd be willing to put in a good word for the House of Carviels, I'm more than happy to offer this for quite a discount.
Of course. I mean, I'll write down the name. I'll remember it, and I'll tell it next time I see him.
I'd like
Be
that
fairly
spelled,
soon.
please.
He kind of holds.
Yes.
He looks down and he hands out his business card. Let me.
Question:
I mean,
is business card carved into stone?
What? No, it's
Is
a
his
it's a
business
simple.
card carved
It
in
is a
stone?
piece. It is a simple piece of cured leather that seems to kind of hold its form, no matter how much you rub on it and move it.
Decent.
This
All
is
right.
good craftsmanship.
Tyrone will take note of that for later, when he sees this card.
There you go.
You need to move. We fucking move it. I love
This is a
this.
group-
I love this. Yes, we need to make note of these guys. These guys are great. Yes, Sigrun will take the card.
If you get
and
a
then
crystal for him,
hands it
we
to
can
Hawk
put
and
him to
Noreen.
watch.
Sure.
Yep, Carviel's house vehicles, you need it moved. All right, nice. We'll keep that in mind. I'll make sure
Yes.
if we ever come in contact with people from Zarius's, their people, we'll put in the good word for you.
Just the
We'll
Black
tell
Talon
them
Bank.
you are very hospitable.
Good. Yeah, Bank of Silencia. If you mention that one, I'd very much in your debt. All right, so you lot are looking for something to navigate the astral sea, and he starts writing it down. I'm gonna guess custom rooms.
Yeah.
Preferably yes.
He looks over
Yeah,
at
that would-
Lucius and goes, I'm guessing the big bear fellow likes his own privacy. He seems like the silent grunting type as he writes it down.
That would be correct.
Good. Don't worry, I'll get you your own training room. Alright. Let's see. You're gonna want a navigation system of some sort. Do you lot have a navigator, or do you want something installed?
Probably something installed would probably be for the best.
Yeah, it sit down and he
Yes.
goes, alright, you want this to be able to go to war? Or do you need this for is this a passenger ship? Are you ferrying people? Or is it a luxury cruiser? What are we looking at?
War.
War?
Definitely.
Alright, do you
Arm
want
that
self-working,
baby.
or do you want it to be, made to, run by you lot? Meaning you lot have to manage the cannons and all this.
Is it both? Like if the system goes down, we can run it?
It's a guarantee no matter what.
Oh, good. Yeah. I mean,
Unless you're
Hakan,
asking
do you
for
have any
non-automations.
thoughts?
Yeah, self-operating would be useful.
He nods. Alright.
Yes.
Do you want a communication crystal with it so that way you can call for it in emergencies? Or would you like
Oh,
it
absolutely.
or would you like the shrinking option?
I think,
Shrinking option has been kind of good and bad. I mean,
yeah, because it might be rough because places that we can't summon it, it wouldn't matter whether it's shrinked or not. I probably think summoning it might be for the best. What do you think, Sigrid?
I think also we try. You can lose it. I mean, sometimes it shrink when damaged. It doesn't go big again, which is a big issue. Pun intended. Not really.
Our
roll
big
with it.
issue is the fact that we do. I will mention that in the case of non-shrinking magical ships that are left out and about, there was a dragonborn that was really well known. Well, a dragon rather that was really well known in the skies for stealing ships. You ever heard of Durmar, the last of the fairy dragonborn, or dragons rather? Yeah, in his young days, he used to steal my ships all the time. Little shit was really good at it too. Thank God I knocked the shit out of him. Didn't do it after that last time. But anyways,
so-
I recommend shrinking. But if you want it to be called, there are dragons out there that specialize in stealing magical items.
We don't want to deal with that. I'd rather not deal with extra security measures personally.
Yeah, I guess having it shrunk then is probably for the best.
All right.
Most likely.
Yeah, writes that down. So shrinking. All right. What do you want the command word to be?
Oh, command. Oh, that's the
Since
big
you're
decision.
funding it, Sigrun, I'll leave it up to you.
Can you give me like 5 minutes?
Galaxian goes, that's fine, not a problem. And what do you want the materials made out of? Do you want a simple oak? Do you want this thing to be magically resistant? Do you want its armor class to be increased? What kind of cannon materials are you hoping for? What's the distance on the cannons? And do you want them to fully be sentient or non-sentient?
Definitely magic resistance. I'd say higher armor better. Hawken, cannons are more your specialty. I'll leave that to you.
What do I know about guns, DM?
Give me a intelligence check.
Apparently not enough. That's a 9.
Your family specializes in cannons that mount on walls. Cannons that mount on walls are typically heavier and more dense because of the fact that they don't want them exploding. Cannons on ships tend to be cheaper, like made of cheaper material and lighter unless they are fixed. In that case, if they are fixed, it's based on whatever the material of the ship is. The weaker the material of the ship, the lighter you want those cannons. If the ship is made out of extremely valuable and very tough material, then you can have cannons as fucking dense as the cannon on your back. If it's not, you want light cannons, but they won't do nearly as much damage.
Okay, so then, whatever the material of the ship is going to be made out of, since we are going with a heavier armor class ship, that can be the material made for the guns.
And he looks, he goes, alright, well, you want the materials made. What do you want the ship built out of?
Okay, what materials, sir, would give us, a decent armor class for our ship?
Alright, I'm gonna just write it down that you'll leave it up to me. I don't want to explain this to you. You lot don't look that bright.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir.
I do have a darker coat.
I take
She
offense
looks at
to
her
that.
like brown fur. Oh, you do have a lighter coat. That would be in some parts of though, Lucius.
Carviel kind of looks at Lucius and looks at Sigrun and goes, lighter cloaks amongst the Scrofe do mean more intelligent. Still, as you're not the...
Is that the case? I guess that makes sense thinking on it.
As the pebble looks at his tanned skin, realizing maybe he's not as smart as he thought.
Cigarette's looking at her like dark brown. She does have the white streak. Okay. Gotcha.
That little part of you is intelligent. The rest...
Yes, alright. And last thing,
Definitely not the part that ate the demon.
You want a captain's quarters with a crystal centralization, meaning it's a system that basically lets you talk to your merchants if you have their shards, like a contact shard.
Ooh, yes. Useful. We get those a lot.
Alright. All that in total, once you give me that command word, will cost you 32,000 gold pieces. Let's see, carry the materials, loss of costs, the discount I'm offering, 30,000 gold pieces.
Oh, that is one of
Yes, and
let's see.
And then I'll need a name for the ship.
A name for so many things with words. What do you guys think?
Sigrun, I do have a recommendation maybe for a command word.
Oh, you tell.
Burst into the flame.
That is many command words. Does it need to be one, or is it?
Well, I mean,
Easier.
One's easier.
To be honest, all right. Is there a word limit? That's a good.
There's a famous boatsmith from the Tiefling lands who is really well known for writing multiple words. I can definitely set up a command word to be his phrase rather than just a single word.
Tell you what, Hawken, you're better with the words than I am. If I come up with just a simple command word, would you rather name the
Yeah, I can name the ship if you do the command phrase. That's fine.
Yes, I thought. You see, names are a hard thing, and I feel like people would be upset if I name it because Scrofade naming conventions are, unique to us, I should say.
He kind of stares between
Okay.
the two of you and looks between, waiting for one of you to say something to him.
What if the word was enlarge?
Too simple.
The
People
pebble
guess
likes
that.
But
Pebble likes
it's
the
one
best.
that everybody would be able to remember. Because just like you, the airship enlarge.
Yeah, but couldn't
How-
someone easily just say enlarge and like steal the ship?
Carvel looks at you and goes, I can make it attunable, in which case only those who are attuned can use it.
Ooh.
That might be rough for some of us who've maxed out attunement.
Yes.
willing to
Yes.
risk.
So
what did the couple say?
a single word that we can all remember, which we could, if it's just a single word, it'd probably be easy to remember.
Could you guys say a single word in Giant if it was just a single word? I know you don't speak it other than me and Pebble, but could you
I mean,
say it?
if you teach us the word and how to say it, yeah, I wouldn't see an issue in it.
I mean, because I think not many people speak it. It would be easy for me to. If you guys are all okay with that. She's like looking between Lucius and Hawken.
Yeah, I'm totally down.
Then she'll turn to the Gith and be like, do you speak Giant?
Yep, I can write giant runes. I can write in giant. My speaking abilities outside of my personal
Sweet.
tongue have always been difficult, but go ahead.
Alright. If you need help, I can help you. Maybe not the writing, the pronunciation. I'd like it to be the word flight in Giant. I think that would be good.
He nods and goes, I can easily do a rune for flight. That didn't take me too long. And for the ship, what do you want?
For the ship's name, I'd like it to be called Phoenix's Respite.
Ah, that's... gave you the choice.
Yeah, that's alright.
I like it.
Okay. He kind of writes down some stuff. I've got some, I've got an idea of what I want to do here. Alright. And he hands out the receipt to you and goes, this should be ready within the month.
Alright. I take the piece of paper at it, and I hand it to Haken.
Alright, Sigrun, pay the man.
Yeah,
Unless you
no,
wanna do
payment's
half now
not
and half
payment's
later.
not due until the ship is completed.
Alright,
Oh, wonderful.
that
I'll
works.
have
for
time
me.
to count
If
it
payment
then.
isn't available upon the ship's creation, I'll be selling the person who signs the contract into slavery for the same price. And he looks back. So who's signing?
I'll sign.
He nods.
Nope.
Perfect. The king slave always goes for a lot more money. You're the third one that's already come to me. The other two, I hope you do better than. As he hands you the paperwork to sign.
I hope I also do better. We'll see what happens. And I'll sign.
Yeah. As you sign it, the contract then immediately starts to sizzle and dissipate. And he goes, alright, I'll let my clan know. We'll have this done for you. Now, be gone. And he turns
All
and
right.
heads into one of the back rooms, and you hear him as he slams the door going into the barn. And immediately the sounds of hammering and explosions can be already heard.
Alright, everyone, looks like we've got a march.
A month to try and wait around to get this.
I don't know if we're gonna be waiting around a month, but hopefully within a month we'll have a vital piece of equipment.
Should we check
I mean-
back in on the city?
We can check in on the city, but we gotta get back to the front as soon as possible. We don't know what the orcs are planning.
Well, I
Mm,
figured we
true.
had to stop
We probably-
through first.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yes. And it's not wise to get too deep in the battlefield without this ship if we're planning to use it for war. So
I'm mostly
definitely
worried
front
about
lines.
a counterattack.
I mean, if they don't find out about us making the ship, they can't do much to counteract it until we've used it.
I'm worried about
Do
a
they get-
counterattack on the city that we just took.
Oh, then yeah, we should stop by the city and help with reinforcement efforts. I mean, I can't speak for the workers in the city, but I feel like when enlarged, I could help with a considerable amount of manual labor.
And as we go through, maybe we can recruit some men to join us. But to be honest, I don't know how many people are gonna join me now that I've so-called declared war on the world.
I thought you only declared war on the orcs.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, actually, when we did the orc thing, you declared war on them and the Heli and someone else. It was 3 people.
Oh, well, the heli I agree with.
Oh, yeah. And considering that will happen after I hopefully take the throne. And if I don't get the throne, I still got a bunch of land to launch an attack from. If the
You
orc
would
thing goes well.
scratch my back if I scratch yours. I have faith in you, my friend.
Well,
Even
benefit
if you,
from the
for some
death
reason,
penalty.
didn't.
Oh,
I agree.
okay.
I think upon stopping in the city, maybe we get people on sending out messages to the rest of the Nordic lands, just so that they know they're not in any danger.
That is an excellent idea, Lucius. We should definitely do that. Also, probably send some messages out to other kingdoms that I'm not really too keen on fighting.
Scrofe, I don't have the highest political pull per se, but if you promise this king to be ally and to help them kill the heli, and you use your friendship with me as a sort of offering, I suppose you could maybe get them at least on the good side,
Yeah, that'd be great.
if
Sukaru.
nothing else.
As you
Definitely
I'm
look,
not
need
great
a-
with writing, though. It might be better to show up in person for that, but it's
as
out
you
the way.
are walking and having this conversation, you see a cloud of dust, mud, and just water kind of flying in the distance from down the road. And as you take a closer look, you see a slightly yellowish blur of Temnar running at full speed.
We may want to head back to that fort. It is on fire, apparently. Some merchants passing by to let me know. I'm gonna run ahead.
Doesn't seem good. Nope.
As Temnar comes to a stop,
And he's
turns and
gone.
starts running off.
And he's gone.
The port's on fire? Like the airport that we were at?
As he just
The
sprints
fort.
off, he's gone.
Fort.
Oh, the fort. Oh,
Your
my fort.
Yes. There you go.
Temnar is
The gears turning.
like running north already. He's a good half mile away from you guys. Can't
Uh-huh.
hear you.
The pebble charges.
Yep, alright, let's go.
Yeah, I'll run
Yeah,
after.
I'm also running behind.
I'm pretty... What, it's gonna take like a week to get there, guys?
Yeah.
Teminar and
Well,
his top two
Temnar
might
can
get
make
there
it
in
there
3 days.
in 3 days, but the rest of you ain't gonna make it there in 3 days.
I'm gonna be entering combat.
Damn.
I will say Temnar will be exhausted after he runs for straight 3 days.
Nah, I will take a
Yeah.
break, but I
Yes.
won't
I
let them catch
summon my warhorse. I'm out of here.
Hold on, guys, we're missing something that could be very much beneficial in asking our shipwright if he could
Watch
give us a
as
ride.
The pebble just has gone off on his warhorse now. As it's now just Hawken, Lucius, and Sigrun jogging.
Well,
Shh,
I
should we
was
ask for
Sigrun
a
was running
ride?
after with the pebbles.
Yeah, no, I got you. But as the pebble gets on his steed, he takes off at a faster speed.
Oh yeah, I
Leaving
can't
the
keep
three
up
of
with
you.
that.
Yeah,
120 feet. I'm out.
leaving the 3 of you together to jog.
Jesus.
Does Hawken state this out loud and stop, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I hope so, because I'd rather get there as quick as possible.
Okay.
Not take a week. If we can get a
As you come to
ride...
kind of a stop, about a good maybe quarter mile from the helmsman's shop.
Guys, we could probably ask for like a ferry or a ride quickly to our destination.
You
I
say
mean,
this
I'm
to
going in a
Lucius
straight
and
line.
you say this to Lucius and Sigrun only.
I mean yes, but our party's already kind of going ahead without us.
Well,
You can pick
I'd
us up
rather
quick.
reinforce my land quickly, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Yes, we should go get it then. Lead the way. Lead the way.
Alright, let's go.
Is Lucius gonna turn and follow Hawken, or is he gonna keep running?
Yeah, I'll follow with them.
Okay. So as you lot turn back around, and as you come to the front entrance once more of the Carviel's House of Vehicles, knocking on the door, you don't hear anything, but you do hear the sounds of metal like being smacked around by hammers, the sounds of something burning coming from the warehouse, or the barn rather.
So this place, not this place specifically, is there another like port area that like other airships go into?
You do see the airships that are currently already floating up above, that are attached to the wall slash kind of air docks that they have set up, as well as ones that are on the ground that seem to just kind of be leaning on their sides. And then, of course, like I said earlier, the fenced-in section of just different different breeds of horses running about and some working. But you don't see anybody walking about. You only hear the barn itself, where where you saw Carviel go into earlier, and the smashing of things and such. The sounds of work happening.
I feel like waiting a week is gonna be too long. We need to get there quick.
How long would it take them on horseback?
4 days.
There was a stable, right?
Yeah, there's a full field of horses, different
I
breeds
guess
and
we
all sorts.
could
Well,
head to the stables. That might be an issue for
Sigrun.
Sigrun, but
Sigrid,
I say,
Sigrun
how
can
long-
enlarge and doesn't need a horse.
how so your axe can travel us, right?
speed-wise- Well, actually, my axe it requires to be underground to work without issue. But even then, the way it works, I don't think it is fully guaranteed. And the location we go to also has to be underground.
Remember, you also
Yeah.
learned it's their tree roots. Is what you were told by the guy.
Yes, 3 roots. So I don't recall much of the fort having 3 roots underground from what I saw of it. However, out of character, I just remembered with my rogue multi-class, I could move pretty quick, so if need be, you guys get horses and I think I can run along. I
Enlarge.
think with a
bonus
double
action
dash, I could do it. Well,
I wanna
yeah, and I think
let me-
technically I can full action dash too, so...
Before
be
that
okay.
happens, so there's a skydock close by, right?
A Psyduck? No.
Skydock.
A sky dock.
Yes, he does have a wall behind the house and barn that is set up that has ladders going up that you can climb up to go and get on the ships that are on the docks up that are floating.
And it's not like they're his ships, it's like other merchants and stuff, or is that like his stock?
This is you don't know. You have no idea. They look similar to the ones that he was showing you, but you don't know if this is a dock for other places or not.
Shit.
Steal a horse, steal a ship. What will you do?
I'm not gonna steal a
Yeah, why did we
ship,
steal? We
Cameron.
can afford to get them.
Alright, I guess we're just gonna have to go on horseback. I was hoping to see if there was like a merchant that flew by airship that could probably ferry us over, but
All right, what do you want to do?
Hold on. There's a bunch of teleportation stuff within the Norlands, right?
There's some teleportation circles, yes.
Do I know a teleportation circle in this city that we could use to get closer to the destination?
No. Circles would be only in the cities where nobles are, at best. Otherwise, it's going to be formerly Heli cities, which nothing this far north would have ever belonged to any of them.
Gotcha.
And wizards aren't a very common thing to find in the Nordlands, sadly. Your people aren't very interested in magic.
Too bad Cameron wasn't here to tell me about an interesting Puma business that might have a wizard that just came into the city. Fuck, I guess we're just gonna have to go buy a horse and call it good. Because I can't think of anything right now, unless you two have any bright ideas.
I don't.
sounds
think
like
as
we
much
better
as
go
we
get some
did.
horses.
Yeah.
Sounds like it will be horses.
Horses it is. Alright, let's go to that ranch or whatever it is to see if we can buy some horses right quick.
Okay. So as you walk beyond the off to the side of the barn, Continuing to hear the hammering of the workshop inside, you see the very large open fenced area where horses of all breeds, some that look like they're draconic, some look fiendish. You've got plant-based horses, some celestial, you've got tons, but you see no workers around.
And there's like no like building to house the horses, nothing that looks
There
like
doesn't
it.
look to be a stable or anything, nope. Just seems to be a big open field with a fence around it.
Can I
The
listen?
horse-
Can I listen to see if I can hear anybody around?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
All right. 17.
You hear the hammering of wood coming from the top of the sky docks. You hear the hammering of metal, wood, and other materials coming from the barn/workshop. You do notice that the wind, as you hear, doesn't seem to go past the fences itself. There seems to be some sort of invisible wall as the sound kind of stops. You also notice you can't hear any of the horses neighing or making any noises on this side of the fence. Yeah.
I wonder if any of the horses are sentient.
I hear some working in the barn. I don't think we're going to be able to get to the horses.
All right, is the barn where we just came from, or that's a different
It's
place?
right behind you. Yeah, it was. It's right between the stable and the main house that's used as a shop.
All right, I guess let's go see who's in the barn.
As you walk over to the large brown barn, you see the two big gate doorways that are usually used for letting out animals or any other forms of equipment. They seem to be shut. You notice all the windows seem to be opened throughout the barn. From the top where the hayloft would normally be, you can hear into where it seems people are working and hammering away and slamming away at things. But otherwise, it seems to be shut, and as you look at the door, it looks to be, closed overall. You can't tell if it's locked from this side.
Sigrun, would you mind knocking?
Sure. I will knock very loudly.
Okay, give me a strength check.
Hell yeah.
I'm about to break the door. I can feel it.
Hell yeah.
I would like not to break it, but I'm also not saying it's impossible. Oh, that actually wasn't a great roll. Let me check something. I only get advantage during rage, and I'm not gonna rage for this. So that would be 12 total. Only got a 6.
Okay. So as you start knocking, it booms, and you hear, "Who the hell is knocking at my damn door? I've got a goddamn order this day. I don't need this."
It's an emergency, I am sorry.
And it opens up the doors, and you see this, the smoke comes fuming out, a black cloud just puffing around. It smells like exhaust. And you can see the boat that you ordered is halfway built already, shining with this greenish tint to it. The back half of the boat where the captain's quarters is already set up. It looks to be somewhat small, though, because it fits in the barn, and looks to have been shrunk compared to what you're expecting. But from the design, there's 4 levels on the ship that you can see already that he's building up, not counting the top.
Oh.
And he goes, "I just started. It takes a damn month to work on these ships. Do you know how annoying it is to get rushes from your customers?"
I
Not
understand
from ship,
completely, sir.
horses.
"What do you need horses for?"
My fort's on fire currently
Emergency.
across the country.
"Your fort's
We need to get
called
there
the
quick.
Burning Fort. No shit, it's on fire. That's what it's called."
So my fort's not under attack? Like,
"I don't know. You came to my door."
I was told by my ally that it-
stranded for nothing. Well, it is Temidar.
so how long would it... How hypothetically fast could you finish this ship?
"You tell me. Piss off," and he slams the door shut.
We should have just asked for the horses.
Goes back to hammering, you hear.
So, do we still try to travel on foot? Do we try to resummon our party members?
Well, it's not like we can summon them. Right?
I mean, Temadar's got to tire out eventually, right?
Yeah, but he's probably far ahead of us now. We gotta just.
I'm gonna give the party a chance to think out loud while I go grab my package real quick. I just got my box that showed up, so I'll be right back.
All right, you,
Okay.
Chaston, Cameron. Any ideas what we can do?
Leave it to us, I guess.
We got this.
Did
I mean-
what did
I mean,
did
I
you
think
like
we'll
know
get.
for sure that it's under attack, or is it just like a hunch?
To be fair, I'm gonna get there before Temidor, so
Yeah, Cameron.
I don't-
All you did was say the fort's on fire.
Yeah, 'cause
And
I was correcting.
rough.
A few merchants talking about the city of Burning Fort being under siege already.
You could have
Okay.
said that instead of just saying fort's on fire.
Well,
Under,
I-
yeah,
I think
Question.
Cameron's thing is pretty concise. It's burning. That's clearly not. true.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I think if I'm able to enlarge and dash, and if I'm definitely able to double dash, I'll be able to catch up. But maybe
Oh yes,
Falcon
double
or
dash is full on a
Lucius,
thing,
but-
Maya.
okay, then yeah, I could double dashing should have me fine. But Lucius and Hawkeye, I don't know how you'll.
You're gonna get
plan
pretty
to
tired
keep
doing it because that's
pace.
basically what I'm doing.
Yeah, I definitely think we should try to time our arrivals at the same time, because if we show up independently, it's just gonna fuck us.
I would say I'm going to get there because the horse thing takes 4 days. But I'm assuming that's if the horse rests. Mine doesn't have stamina, so I'm gonna get there in like 2 days.
Okay.
You'll probably
Yeah.
catch up with me, and I may travel with you after taking short rest.
I was like, I don't know if the horse is strong enough to lift us both because Pebble is very heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, I wasn't talking about riding the horse.
I mean, you can run, yeah, sure, but I'm just putting that out there right now. So
I'm gonna ask if this is gonna up my constitution for running this long.
All right,
You'll probably have to make a con save to make sure you don't get exhausted.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
All right.
Hello.
All right. So I guess the plan as we're thinking about it is have Sigrun enlarge and just, I guess, carry us to our destination. Is that the plan that we're
At
going
least
with?
try
guys?
to. I'd say to at least meet up with them or catch up to them if we can. Because I don't like the party being separate.
I was gonna say, unless you manage to find where they're camping, which I'm gonna be honest, if they're going both at a straight line, it's gonna be random. Y'all ain't gonna have a good idea at all where they're camping out.
Yeah,
you
I
have no
figured
way of
that
getting into
it with
Pebble
them.
running off was not
Better
a smart
chance
idea.
with. No, definitely not.
I will
But
say,
better
Sigrun,
chance with Lucius's bear scent to maybe try to track them.
That's fair. I will say that Sigrun, you're gonna be like a day behind both of them as far as your journey. Well, your speed's really high. It's the fact that Temidor's already gotten almost a 2-hour lead
Yeah,
on
I was
you.
gonna say I don't know what the enlarge does for the speed boost.
Nothing.
Be able to double dash.
It doesn't do
Which would
anything. It
get me
just makes you
to-
bigger.
If I dash as an action and then dash as a bonus action, I can get up to 160 feet of movement.
Mhm.
I don't know how fast that. I'm sure I'm still gonna be behind them, but at least I think I won't lose too much ground.
You will with Temidor no matter what,
Okay.
just due to his speed, but you'll be able
Yeah.
to keep up with the Pebble within an hour's distance of him no matter what, if at your top speed.
Also, I did
Yeah.
say I'd be stopping and taking a rest at one point or
No, I
another
know.
to
Yeah, I got
Mhm.
you, because you're
prevent
gonna have
myself
to.
from getting too winded.
Mhm.
So if
I'll-
I enlarge and carry you to Lucius, I'll need you to like bloodhound sniff it as we run.
All right.
Unless you want to go bear mode and run as well or something.
I wouldn't be moving very fast.
Okay.
Okay. I should be able to carry you two fine when I'm enlarged.
Alright.
Who
As
needs a horse
I
when you have
shall
a-
do that.
Okay. As Sigrun grows to what, 4 times the size?
Yep.
Alright,
I
as you
believe
start
that's
to expand,
the size.
how are you carrying Lucius and Hawken?
I would imagine that I should be able to get them on my shoulders, and considering the just quantity of mane, they should have no trouble holding on. I guess I could hold one of them in my arm. Prefer to have them free in case of combat, so
Okay. So both of you are
Uh,
going to be strapping on to Sigrun's shoulders.
Yes.
if they'd like to do that.
I
If
will
not,
make
they
you
could try
do-
to tie themselves to my back, but
I will
We're gonna
make
have
you
to
do
do
dex
Baby
checks.
carrier.
I will also let you know. Well, Lucius, this might not be. Will be a little bit more of an issue as his nose is a bit more sensitive. Sigrun's fur does have a musk to it naturally because that's how Sigrun's people work. With how their sweat glands kind of, or the sweat gets absorbed into their fur. So
Yeah.
you will be making dex checks, and there is going to be a slight musk to it. So that means that Lucius's perception checks with his nose will be at disadvantage while he's riding on Sigrun.
Which means
What's
just
what kind of check would you make to tie knots?
Sleight of hand, just to see how effective the knot is.
Gotcha. Because I was almost thinking about just tying a bunch of hair to myself.
If you want to like take a second to make like one of those fucking back baby carriers that have like the
It
little
just-
fucking basket, we can.
Got a
but-
freaking harness on.
Yeah, I mean,
if
she's
there are
got to
any
have
loose
something to
barrels lying
strap
outside of the
her
shop,
weapons on.
The plan was just to wrap maybe like a few strands of your hair, because at that size it'd be interesting, around like my leg, so I won't fall off.
But I mean, that should be doable. I have to shove out his legs.
All right. So with Lucius and Hawken grabbing on, Sigrun begins to run.
Thud, thud, thud,
Yeah,
thud.
I'm gonna need dex checks from both Lucius and Hawken.
Check
I
or
will-
saving throw.
Just check.
Okay.
I will grab their legs if I notice one of them slipping. By the way.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Like, yeah, if she's just running, I think she'd be pumping
It's a
her arms to
5.
get more momentum. So, well,
So immediately as you start jogging, Lucius just almost falls off, and you have to grab him.
yeah.
23.
Grab tighter. There's a lot of hair.
Oh no. Yeah, okay. Alright, so as Lucius kind of begins to lay down, he ties himself onto you, and Lucius, you're welcome to take off.
Well, I'll be back.
Yep, hopefully before end of session. Alright, as he grabs on, you lot start jogging. It will take you about an hour, or a couple hours to jog. Hawken, as you guys start to slowly catch up, and you can see the Pebble in the distance on his horse. As most of the
I
fields
see it.
are clear, mostly just farmland, it's pretty easy to spot, especially because the Pebble's not gonna, run through people's farmland. He's gonna try and take the roads where it's better for his horse.
Also, I am riding a celestial horse.
Yes, so he does gleam and sparkle along the way, and leaves a little bit of a trail of sparkles as he continues on. But Hawken, I want you to give me an intelligence check real quick as you're holding on to Sigrun.
18.
You realize that Lucius mentioned that there was a guy working on the sky dock when he said he was listening to things, and that you lot completely ignored it as you're kind of continuing to run.
Because I thought that was the GIF who was up there working.
No, he's working in the shop, and that should have been an obvious. Hey, maybe we should go check who the fuck's making noise. Alright. We're gonna call this my version of what the fuck check, as the realization of what someone else said kind of dawns on the characters, at least above average intelligence. It takes you guys, about after the first day of running, you catch up to the Pebble as he's not far ahead of you, and as you see him kind of starting to set up camp, and as you kind of come to a stop at the camp. I assume the Pebble you're setting up camp, or are you gonna just
I was saying
continue on?
I can, but since my horse doesn't exhaust and I'm not doing the running, I can go a lot longer.
Yes, but you will have exhaustion.
Yeah.
You still need to sleep.
You do have to sleep, yes.
Yeah.
Like, that is a requirement that you do have to get a long rest.
Do
every
I tie
24
myself to the
hours.
horse?
That is a possibility. I will allow that, and it was something that was very commonly practiced. So,
You know what? I'll see if I can tie a good
Do you
knot
have
if I
rope?
can. I should have rope.
if you don't
And
have
if you
rope in your
fall off,
inventory,
we'll
I
catch
do
you
have
maybe.
then... Okay.
I'll try. If I roll really bad, then I'll be like, oh, I can't time lots.
Yep. All right. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check.
That's a nat 20 plus 6.
It's not bad. Oh no, did D&D... Hold up. Come on. I just went to load the Pebbles character sheet to look at something. Hold up. Come on, come on, D&D Beyond. Don't be like this. There we go. Oh god, that's slow. Alright. So as you lot you have the hemp perfect. So
I have hemp
that's what I was checking for. Alright, yeah, so as you start to tie yourself down onto the horse, yeah, you manage to realize you don't have to take a long rest, or you won't have to take a stop for camping. However, your long rest will not give you any HP back. It just will keep you from getting exhaustion. Like, you won't
That's
get
fine.
spells, you won't get anything else, it's just going to keep exhaustion off.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. For Temidar, who's also running at full sprint, he's going to be almost a good 4 to 5 miles ahead of you lot, pretty much at any time. You never happen to even spot Temidar and where he is. Lucius, I'm going to say with his passive perception for his scent, can't tell that Temidar's still ahead, but as far as where he's at, it's pretty hard to track as it starts to pour down rain as you lot continue on your run. Sigrun, are you going to be stopping with Lucius and Hawken to get a long rest, or are you going to just try and power through it with the exhaustion?
Remind me what getting a level of exhaustion would do again.
Let me pull up the exact thing for it, because 5e has...
Isn't it
different
just
rules.
like disadvantage on ability
First
score?
level gives you disadvantage on ability checks, which is what
So-
I would be stopping after that at the next night to rest.
All
you out
right.
of it.
So exactly, your first level of exhaustion is disadvantage on all ability checks. Your second level of exhaustion is your speed is halved. Your third level is you have disadvantage on all attack rolls and saving throws. If you are awake for 4 days straight, you have hit points maximum halved. 5 days straight, it's speed reduced to 0, and after 6 days, you just die. There is no save. There is no saving throw. There's no death saving throw. You just die.
I would only take that one level then. I think Sigrun's... I'm not really missing a lot of my stuff to make a long rest worth it, considering the urgency of this, and having disadvantage on ability checks won't kill me. So yeah, I think that first night Sigrun would just power through, and if the others want to try to sleep while running, I guess she needs to be, but yeah,
Okay.
she's willing to power through it.
All right.
Unless told to stop.
Well, then Hawken and Lucius will also take a level of exhaustion as they are on your back because they won't be able to sleep. Even if they tied
Are you
themselves
guys
to
willing to do that, or do you guys want me to stop so you guys can
you.
take
Well,
a
Lucius
long
isn't
rest?
here, so I'm going
Oh.
to say that he'll follow the lead of the party.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
so Chasten's able to... So is there, like, a special reason why Chasten can tie himself and not get exhaustion?
To a horse, it's a
Yeah.
mount.
Yeah.
Sigrun is not a mount.
Mhm.
So that's why. You would be tying yourself to a creature that their full body is moving. I don't know if you've ever ridden horses,
I have.
but if you know, even if a horse is at full gallop, you're not moving a lot. There's not lots of movement while you're sitting on its back if you have a saddle on, which is the idea is, the Pebbles riding in a saddle. You are riding Chewbacca, which has no saddle. And is much more violent in their movements as they are an athlete and they're trying to sprint at top speeds. So it's not going to be very comfortable and it's going to be impossible to sleep. So you will take exhaustion regardless if you try to sleep on. You can tie yourself so you don't have to make dex checks, but yeah, sleeping will not be possible on Sigrun.
If we're trying to run into a freaking war zone,
Well,
having
we'll
a level
have
of
a night's
exhaustion is
sleep.
not good.
Well, we wouldn't get there within a day, I don't think. That's why I was thinking first day we could run it, take a long rest the second day. Because it would be at least 4 days, right?
Yes.
On a horse? If
no,
you
four
compare Sigrun-
days with your current speed, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I was thinking like, the first day we could do it. But if you really need a long rest to get spells or stuff back, you can. I'm literally
No,
just missing like a rage charge.
Uh,
I don't need a...
We can go this first day with exhaustion. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Alright.
Sweet.
So as the days go on, Hawken, pick a number between 1 and 100.
63.
Okay.
Good number. Feels like a good number.
Alright.
Hawkins now doomed everybody in that village to die.
No. Alright. So as the days go on, Temidar, you're the first to arrive. As
I would
you
have taken a long rest on the second day.
Yes. As you arrive at the fort on the third day, it's about midday. You're drenched in sweat. You haven't had a chance to bathe. You're exhausted. While you don't have any levels of exhaustion, the run itself was still exhausting, leaving you kind of out
Yeah,
of breath.
it would be. That was definitely some endurance training.
Yep. And as you arrive to the fort, you see the guards kind of just standing out front wearing the Firecrest emblem. You see the walls are still kind of being worked on. That you notice a lot of the houses from the outside, you can see over the walls that the houses have all been torn down and new wooden ones are being put up instead of the old clay ones. People look like there's merchants coming in and out. The city looks fine. As you come up to the guards, and one of the guard captain comes over and goes, "Oh, Temidar, we weren't expecting you for still a few days. Where's King his liege?"
I'd say probably about a half day behind me, because I heard that you guys were under attack, so I ran my ass here. Huh!
Well, if you like, and he kind of stands up, I'm more than happy to escort you in and get you something to drink and some food. You look a little tired.
I slept only one night on the run here.
No,
It
that's-
took me 3 days.
Well, I apologize for your rush, but nothing's happened. We've made some contact with a couple of local merchants to start supplying the shops again, and we've opened up supply lines with the Nord Kingdom. There's a gathering of forces to the north. They're about maybe a month or two's journey from here, so we're not too concerned. We assumed our liege would be back with more troops and reinforcements for when they arrived. But
Alright.
construction's been going as just as what our Lord's second in command had stated, our steward.
Alright.
He goes, the
I'll come
golems have
and get a
done
quick
well.
break, and then I'll check around the surrounding area
Okay.
to see if there's been any signs of scouting by the orcs.
Okay.
Because rather than risk there being a sudden ambush when Hawking gets here, I want to be productive.
All right. As you start walking around, give me a second. I'm just opening something here. All right, perfect. So as he kind of takes you in, food is brought to you, and a straight just glass or jug of water is brought out to you. The guard kind of starts walking you around the area, kind of explaining what's been going on. He mentions that that the Bank of Silencia reached out and they've set up a location here, and so now they have access to the funds. As long as Sigrun Bjorn Neko still stands by the House of Firecrest. He explains that the farming fields have been impossible to get back up due to scouting parties from the orc armies in the north raiding and destroying all the fields to the best of their ability, so they've been shipping in food. That the clay houses were deemed too inhospitable for Nords due to the relative scent, and so instead each house is being built out of a simple wood design until stone can be quarry can be located and set up, as well as mini gardens are being set up as part of every house's own garden, so that way the people can feed themselves in the worst case of a siege.
Yeah.
He explains that silos have been set up for grain, and they've been stocking as best they can. They expect a long siege either way, as the steward knows that he's fully outnumbered, and that his golem production has been at the best at his lowest rates because he doesn't have the materials. That's
I'm
what you
going
get.
to take a moment and look over that and see if he'll bring me a map as well, point out where the scouting parties have exactly been hitting, along with a topographical map so that I might be able to pull out of my ass a quarry location. Well, travel as I am, these might be things that these would probably be skills I could pick up.
He pulls out a geographical map so that way you have a better understanding of it, of the area. Let me go ahead and get that screenshot for you.
And once I'm done with my meal and assisting with this, I will head out and see if there's any scouts closer than they should be.
Okay.
Because they will start prodding the defense within a month
Yes.
of their full march.
Yes.
There is no question on that, and I'm not risking people's lives.
So this is what the topographical map of the continent looks like that he hands you, and he circles on the map where you are for the Burning Fort. This map only seems to have the capitals of each of the nations, so that's why it doesn't have the normal cities in it.
That's fine, but looking at it, it looks like the nearest spot to Corey is neck deep into the Orklands.
He nods and goes, yes, well, the orcs aren't very good at stonesmanship. Those few dwarven slaves they have are the ones who've managed to set up most of the fortresses. The Strongdale itself is a dwarven fortress that was conquered. It's impossible to crack. Unless we've got some fucking large-ass cannon, we ain't getting into those walls anytime soon. They're made of
Hearing
pure...
that, Temidar looks at him and smiles. Well, the ex-Windsor cannon has been repaired.
I mean, if he can enlarge the thing to 10 times, I hear the gnomes were good at that. That's how they do their sieges. Maybe he can find a gnomish inventor to bring along.
If there's any left alive, I think a lot of them went extinct.
No, yeah, the gnomes are considered extinct. But anyways, and as you lot are enjoying, he goes, there's no scouts in the area currently. It seems that the majority of the forces are still gathering. I think they've gotten the most information they need. They saw our walls were destroyed. They saw the city was on fire when they were here last. We've quelled a lot of the issues, and we've gotten about 500 people strong. We ain't much of a fighting force, but we can hold the walls.
No, but we could also do some... Temedar's gonna look at the... stand up after he finishes eating and take a walk around the walls, taking note of how the ground is and
Okay.
the
So...
best of his abilities while he's waiting for Hawken to show up. And taking note of any lumber that is nearby.
I will say these walls are not made of stone. They are made of like giant logs and trees.
Yeah, not that lumber. I'm not considering that. The first thing those orcs are going to do is burn down these walls.
Yeah, the trees have been cut back. Well, there is as you look, you can give me a perception check, by the way, or actually investigation to tell for the dirt and such. The wood
That's a
itself.
5. I'm not telling anything because I'm trying to think too hard.
That works. As you look, the wood walls are covered in a black sap. That the guard explains makes it less. It makes it better to fire or more fireproofed. It's not perfect, but it does tend to put out, or it does tend to take a lot longer to take fire, or catch fire rather. And as you're looking at the dirt, most of it you notice is a very thick clay on the top layer. It's pretty easy to tell. And beneath it seems to be a very iron-rich dirt. It's one of the things about the Orklands is well known is they grow very good potatoes and root vegetables because their ground is full of fucking iron. And it's very enriched by blood.
That also gives us a good idea because clay is a sturdy topsoil, which means that we could employ spikes along the edge of the wall as well. So when their first charge comes in, it's going to be impaled.
But as
I'll even share that idea with him immediately.
As you mention this, and as you're kind of walking along, you do notice one thing. Most of the people on the walls are wearing nothing better than studded leather pieces, and most of it's scattered pieces that don't seem to fit in any proper way. Only a couple of the soldiers actually have armor, from what you can tell that's made for them and is their own.
Alright. Have I been being tailed, by the way?
I assume no pun intended?
Yes, no
Okay.
pun intended.
No. Other than the guards that seem to kind of be watching you lot and kind of walking alongside in the background, just in case of attack. It seems to be only the sergeant and yourself.
Alright, I'll look and be like, what are the potion reserves looking like? Healing items, what do we got?
Yeah, it's nothing. We have no money. The fact that we are able to acquire 500 men should really speak to our liege's name, because they came here working for free. None of the soldiers have been paid since day one. We have no treasury, nothing to pay them for. They're purely standing on the fact that they expect Hawken to be capable. I mean, but based on the rumors we all hear about him, I mean, the man should be able to wipe an army by himself.
Some rumors are exaggerated, but he is powerful. That is he might not be able to wipe this army alone, but power is power. Alright. Seeing the edge of the wall, Temidar will head in, and he's gonna head straight up to the command of the castle, I guess.
As you head in, where this city used to have an inner wall, you notice that wall is completely crumbled and destroyed from the previous siege. Also, the library itself seems to have been fully turned into a command base, as the castle has been broken down and replaced with almost a long hall, a very long wood hall. And as the sergeant takes you up there, you also notice that the church that used to be there has been completely destroyed and is being slowly rebuilt in a different into a different god for some reason. But as you come to the long hall, you see as Chantrell comes walking out. He looks a little busted up, a little injured. You can definitely see the bandages around his hands.
Before
and-
he can say anything to
Mhm.
me, I take 15,000 gold,
Mhm.
and I, in a sack, and I hand it to him. And go, startup funds.
He looks at it
Let's
and goes,
get everything we need, and let's get started.
well, with this, I can get the local merchant guild set up. He goes, the Bank of Silencio said they'd be willing to loan us out magical items in exchange that we had some capital to give them. This could...
That'll help.
He
And
nods.
Sigrun is on her way. We did manage to
Oh,
secure
and
an
he kind of,
airship.
as you say that, you see him lick his thumb and kind of move his eyebrow, or wipe it across his eyebrow, and he goes, really?
Yes, along with, I do believe they managed to procure an airship of high enough quality that it'll be useful in the siege, but...
He nods and goes, alright. And our liege is on his way, I assume?
He's probably about a day to half a day behind me, because I ran here at top speed. Never judge how fast a monk can run.
He nods and says, I'll let the guards know to be on the lookout for, I'll also send them with a pair of scouts with fresh horses to go and give them a ride. Hopefully that should assist.
Most likely they aren't on horses. Knowing what they've done, they're probably being carried by Sigrun.
He nods and goes, alright. He has, the long hall has been set up with accommodations for each of you. If you want to take a rest, I'll have my scouts send out.
No, I
head out.
think I'm gonna be ready and waiting, as well as looking over the walls a bit more, seeing if I can think of anything I can utilize to reinforce it.
He nods and goes, well, I
And with
appreciate
that,
it.
Temidor is going to go settle down and actually do some experimentation with a vial of randomness, seeing if I can get it to take a certain direction.
Okay.
I
You
will
can
message
give
you
me
with
a d20 plus your proficiency to see what you do, and then you can give me an Arcana check afterwards to see if you can figure out what it did.
That's a nat 20 plus 4, 24.
Okay. And then give me an Arcana check.
That's a 1 plus 5.
the
I will take another look at
Lord
it.
giveth and the Lord taketh away.
Mhm.
I will message you what I was attempting
real.
to do.
You can give me a d100 check. Or roll, actually, to see what you get.
Alright.
And you can
That's
send me what
a
you're trying
25.
to do. Okay.
And I'll send you what I'm trying to do.
Okay. As you start walking or start kind of walking around and messing around with the potion, as you kind of look over the walls and see the people, you see the people are fed. They're comfortable looking. The shops are setting up. Okay. And you, as you're messing around and shaking the potion, adding little ingredients here and there to try and see if you can change its effect, you finally do. You realize you don't get the effect you want, but it does something in the same direction as what you're trying to do. You're just
I will-
not sure what it will do.
I will immediately utilize it on the walls and see.
I will say, you do know that the whatever this potion effect has, it will be a time-based thing. It's not
I
permanent.
will. Can I test out a drop on something without utilizing the entire thing?
Oh yeah, very easily.
I will do that then on a piece of wood.
Okay. As you sit down and pour a little bit on a piece of just random driftwood you find, you see it turns solid green and it seems to reflect the light itself, almost as if the light can't penetrate it. As you kind of go to smack it against the table that you find yourself sitting at and resting in front of a random shop that hasn't opened yet, you see it kind of leaves a dent in the wood slightly after just a light tap. And the stone looks fine.
Right now, Temidor's wishing he had his silver's vial heavily because utilizing this on the entire wall will be a pain, but doable.
Okay. We'll come back
I
to you
will change
momentarily.
that vial to something else.
As Temidar begins to has hit the town, the scouts head out with fresh horses. About 4 hours go by, and they stop as they come into contact with you, Pebble. You kind of stop and start to keep pace with you as they continue running towards the fortress. And one of the scouts, both being Nords, can't really distinguish male or female with the armor they're wearing and their very exhausted sounding voices. One of them goes, "Where's our liege? We have fresh horses for him."
Back
Further
further.
behind. I ran ahead.
Yes, all right. And he turns and he pulls the horses with him, and they go at top speed. So, yes. By the way, Temidar's already made it there and is making preparations. As they take off past you, Pebble.
I'll just like hold a thumbs up as I keep going.
The moment I see the pebble, I'm gonna look and be like, how many trees can you break down in a day?
It's gonna still take him another half a day before he gets to you.
Jesus Christ.
but as-
Temedar's ass to fuck.
As about, well, you did say you were going to go at top speed and only taking one rest, so yeah, your top speed movement is pretty high. But yeah, so as you take a minute, or as you continue running, Pebble, you can see the city on the slight hill, but it's still going to take you a while. You know full well it's at least half a day's travel at this point. Sigrun and Hawken, as you see about 30 minutes go beyond again once more since you've seen the Pebble, and breaking through the thick foresty brush after you guys pass over the large river, you see as two scouts come up with bearing the full plate with the Firecrest emblem on them, both of them having what looks to be two horses apiece with them that they're dragging along. You notice these horses are a little larger, a little more muscular. They also have a slight greenish hue to them.
Cool.
And as they come running up, they keeping pace with Sigrun. One of them goes, "Liege, we've brought you fresh horses for you and your party mates." And one of them also hands a rod over to Sigrun and goes, "And we've brought Chantrell's invention for Sigrun, a horse that can carry her."
Oh. Well, that would be good,
As he
because
hands you this
I can
rod.
tell you these ones would not do it. She'll, like, slow down from, I assume, was her fast pace and take it, and she'll also let, Hawken and Lucius untie her mane and dismount themselves, and maybe a little, like, fix her mane a little bit as they get off.
As they do,
You know,
the two scouts go, "We are kind of in a hurry, if you wouldn't mind."
Oh, yes, absolutely.
As they hand over two horses to each Hawken and Lucius to give them a fresh horse to switch between.
Verify, we did have, like, long rests the other days, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I mark off my sheet correctly.
All right.
Yeah, and as he hands you the rod, Sigrun, he just goes, "This should take care of anything you need." And the scouts go, "We're gonna return at our tops as fast as we can. I expect you lot to follow behind us quickly, correct?"
Absolutely.
He
Tell me
nods.
our
Yes.
comings and goings of the town as we go.
He nods, and they start taking off.
Sigrun
Sigrun.
will. I said she'd probably shrink down to her normal size and then activate the rod.
Okay. As you
I
click
wasn't
the,
given instructions.
As you click the very obvious red button on the end of the rod, it suddenly it kind of pops out of your hand with a little spring and hits the ground, and it slowly expands as you see the metal of the rod kind of pull out and unsheath itself from itself, and it slowly turns into what looks to be a almost metallic-looking workhorse. That you'd guess probably weighs somewhere around like 700 pounds, roughly, and the thing is meant to carry creatures that are large. It has a full saddle set up to it, and it seems to be automated as it just waits for you to, or it just stands there waiting.
Hell yeah! All right. How tall is it? I assume she can reach it even in her normal
It
form.
is 5 feet tall, but it has a saddle with a
yeah.
thing that goes down to 3 feet.
She, and in her 8-foot stature, just casually throws a leg over and then just plops down into it. Like, oh, I love inventions. They're so nifty.
It's like a
All right.
motorbike.
Yep.
I immediately start trying, and as Hawken and Lucius are on these horses with the scouts explain, you see a Sigrun and a pile of dust flying behind just goes sprinting past without even a fucking second care. Immensely
She's
catching
laughing
up.
joyously.
As you pass the pebble on the way, you see the fortress in the distance at top speed. Pebble,
Hello, friend.
you just watch as this like dust cloud passes you.
Goodbye.
Man, you know, being a concubine of King Zarius definitely has its perks.
The scout goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Chantrell didn't invent that. That was special ordered for Sigrun.
Yeah,
We were told to
I figured
deliver
as
it,
much.
otherwise Chantrell would be losing a finger."
I figured as much.
He nods and goes, as far as it goes for what you need for the comings and goings, we were told that Temidar misunderstood. The fortress is called the Burning Fort. So it's very well known not to be on fire. However, there is a very large army, about 2 months' journey at maximum, gathering of the entirety of the Orcish forces. And the queen herself is leading it with her mage corps, which, I'm gonna be honest, the last time that group got together, they sank a city into the ground.
I need to write some
They've done
letters. Then it
worse.
seems and get some people.
Also, Chantel informed us before we left that Temidar voluntarily donated around 15,000 gold, so that way we could get some loaned magic items from the Bank of Silencia.
Loaned items instead of paying for more men.
We couldn't.
Okay.
No one wants to join your army currently. The fact that we got 500 people there without a single coin really just speaks to the testament of your namesake currently.
There's some good people with me then.
We're desperate. To be honest, we've been training the best we can. Most of them are mercenaries and exiles. We got nobles. We got people that have questionable backgrounds. We got some Voli that showed up. People are gathering, but it's gonna take time. We can't face an army like this. Best thing we can do is hold in a siege. And we
What do
definitely
got,
can't take Strongdale. That city's is untouchable even by the dwarves themselves. You'd have to, if they couldn't take it, what luck do we have?
Hopefully in the near future I might have something that could be of use. My new gun is definitely very beneficial to me.
Okay. As you guys continue to sprint, he goes, "Is there anything else you'd like to know, my liege?"
What do we have in terms of blacksmithing?
Well, we've got Chantrell.
So we have no forges besides the ones that Chanterelles are using to make golems?
We don't even have a forge, sir. He's been building them by pieces, with what he can summon up.
Okay, I know you can make forges out of clay, at least smelteries, at least.
Yeah, we won't be able to make iron swords, though, with it. Best we can do with that is bronze and brass.
Real. So if anything, if we can use any of the rubble from the walls to make forges, we can melt the iron out of the sand and use that.
We got clay walls, we got we got iron in the soil. A lot of it. Makes great potatoes.
Yeah, but we can take the iron out of the sand,
The dirt.
the dirt.
You know, I think, guys, if that's what your liege wants, he goes, I can send the command ahead, but we got no smelting facilities. Even with the clay in the ground, it'd take a while for us to get it set up. We only got 2 people who know how to smith. We only got 3 people who can actually handle a sword, and 2 of them are right next to you right now.
The Pebble knows how to smith.
As you say this, and you can see the group in the distance behind you, the Pebble.
We'll have to supplement somehow until I can get some people to come. Hopefully sending letters out, asking for aid.
You know, I got a cousin who's down in Swindon. He's got some friends he can send up here to help out.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's a group of mercenaries. Weird bunch. Really unique lot. Call themselves the Light.
Knew it.
If they're willing to fight with me, then by all means send them a message.
I don't think
I'll take any sword.
I mean, they wiped out an entire city by themselves, so I imagine they're decent. Alright. He goes, you see his eyes kind of glow for a second. He goes, I've sent the message ahead to have a letter sent to them if we can find them.
Phenomenal. I appreciate that, soldier.
We also have a tiefling who joined us. He signed up as a volunteer. He's been trained in some of the troops and fighting. Nice dude, older gentleman. Not sure who he's related to, but I mean, he showed up and started offering help and said he was a big fan of the House of Firecrest. So
Huh.
I think he's got a
Okay.
liking for the fact that you kill a lot of people. I don't know though. He's been taking over the marshal position as Chantrell's been doing all he can to train some of the local soldiers in bowmanship. We figure if they can't fight with swords, the best they can do is shoot some arrows.
Exactly. I definitely think. So how's the wall situation doing on our,
Well, the stone walls
Outskirts.
fell and we're basically screwed. We couldn't use them much. We've got wooden spikes now. You'll see the walls we've put up. They're not the best, but we'll be able to hold. They're somewhat fireproofed. As
Okay.
he says this, you plus as well as the Pebble and Sigrun finally make it in. Sigrun making it into town about an hour ahead of the party. Pebble finally arriving as well right behind, and immediately you lot are brought to the long hall, and as the last of the party shows up, they are dragged up to the top of the hill in the center of the city, to the long hall itself. And as you lot open the door, Temidar sitting there with Sigrun and the Pebble, you see this long wooden table that seems to have been carved out like the continent, with the different cities on it and different rivers, as well as the design of the different forests and such. And a couple pieces are brought out to put on the table to show the difference in military matters.
Has the piece of wood turned back to normal yet?
No, it did not.
Perfect.
And it has been 8 hours. Or 4 hours for you, sorry.
Yep, I was making note of how long it's lasting.
As you come in, Hawken, you see Chantrell standing to one side of the table, talking to the Pebble, kind of showing him some of the smithing, or some of the stuff he's done with the golems and what kind of materials they need to do for some smithing. You see on the other side a somewhat muscular, around 6 foot, semi-leaned frame of this very dark red tiefling with yellow eyes and long tail. He seems to be wearing full studded leather, and he has the Firecrest symbol on his studded leather. As he's kind of showing Sigrun some of the maps and explaining what he's been doing to train the troops to the best of his ability.
Do I recognize this man whatsoever?
Give me a a history check.
I don't know much about shooting bows, but if you need
Alright.
me to knock some swordmanship into some of these fools, I can do that easily.
15.
Our battle axe is my personal
Wouldn't that be
strong
axe?
suit. It's a different, you cut with it.
Okay. You do not recognize this tiefling. You've never seen him before. He looks like a normal tiefling man who's been serving on the front lines. I mean, you can definitely tell this man's fought in a lot of battles. He's got the scars and the general appearance of a man who's been a soldier. But
Do I recognize him?
you can give me a history check, see if
Well,
you can
that
recognize
Lucius.
him. You have made
I've served in the war with many a few tieflings.
for reference right now, to catch you up, Lucius, you've just made it to the city of the Burning Fort. It was not under siege, nor was it on fire, but you found out that there's only about 500 men that are here that are serving, and a mysterious tiefling has joined in the defense.
I got 7.
Okay.
Interesting.
You have no idea who this guy is. He's not someone you've ever met. You can definitely tell, though, from the way he carries himself, he's definitely a soldier, and definitely someone who knows what they're
I
doing.
respect that. I respect that. But yeah, Sigrun
Go ahead.
tells them that she's confident she could troops with melee combat.
Okay. He kind of looks at you, Sigrun, and nods and smiles and goes, you Scruffy are always the strong ones in my experience. It's always good to have you.
Yes, and I have a friend of mine. He is not Scruffy, but he's one of Hawken, who I'm sure is more than happy to also help train. If he doesn't insist to do something else. I think he told me before he's a smith, I recall. Yeah, he might help with that instead.
He nods. Goes, interesting. Well, if you like...
To be honest, I also have worked a little bit with smith and mason tools in my past. If you could provide me the tools, I'm sure I can do at least basic wall work or basic repair on weapons and the like. I mean, I maintain my... She, offers her axe for him to inspect.
He looks at it and goes, oh, I haven't seen this weapon in years. And books, of course, it's not very common that they talk about these books, or these kind of weapons. He goes, I'm a bit of a historian myself. I really enjoy the learning of about weapons and everything they have to offer.
Yes, I'm not big on the history, but I talked a little with the guy behind this, and it seems like a very powerful weapon. I've done my best to respect it and use it in a honorable way, and I think I've downed many of foes with it, so I like to think I'm doing a good job. And she'll sheath it.
He nods and goes, well, interesting. As far as it goes, he looks over as he sees Hawken, and he goes, my liege, as he bows his head, and he goes, my name, you can call me Teg. I am a tiefling from the Silver Song Empire, or what was the Silver Song Empire.
Well, glad to have you here, Teg. Do you happen to have any contact with any remaining soldiers of your people?
Oh, plenty. I've got many of friends. If you'd like me to, I can gather many more if you'd like. It will take me a while to find them, but there's a few scattered throughout the Nordlands.
That'd be greatly appreciated. I'll also probably send a letter to the new Vasul Silver Song Alliance, I believe it's called. Hopefully they might be able to find aid.
He nods. He goes, well, I'm at your service if you need it. And he kind of puts his hands, or he kind of tries to smack the shoulder of Sigrun in more lower back. And he goes, I think me and your friend here should go and get the troops ready while you lot plan your business here. I don't think we'll be of much use in the planning of logistics and war. He looks at Sigrun and wait to see if you confirm.
By all means, carry on.
Yes. The faster we can get your men in tip-top shape, the sooner we are ready.
He nods and goes.
And she'll pat his shoulder back, although it's more of...
Okay.
Before
By all
Sigrun
means.
leaves, Temidar will point out to her that she should swing by wherever the bank is set up to show that she will be helping with Hawkins' thing.
And Lucius, you are free to go with them or stay if you like.
I'm going to turn to the tiefling before they start to head out. Do you have any message keepers around?
Message keepers?
People to deliver messages, letters.
He goes, you'll want Chantrell can handle that for you. We've got some scouts with the spell message that can send. They've also got a few that can scribe.
Okay. I turn to Hawken and I'm like, we should head there soon too.
What?
To send
Where?
messages.
Chantrell's
To
here.
the north.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's
Chantrell just turns and waves as he's looking at the table for a second. As for a moment, you finally catch on, Lucius, as you look around. You're being in this room and you see the most of the command is sitting in here with you.
Temidar is fiddling with a piece of metal still, apparently.
Yes. And
Smiling.
as you say that, Chantrell looks at you, Lucius, and goes, what can I send for you? What do you need messaged out?
We just wanted all of the Nordic kingdoms to know that we are of no danger to them.
He nods and says, I'll have that sent out immediately. He kind of snaps his fingers, and you see a young man comes running in, and he hands him a little note, and the young man runs back out. And he goes, he'll have that sent out through Rookery and through Message Cast. We should be able to get it out within the day.
appreciate that. Hopefully, that'll keep away any unwanted thoughts.
He smiles and goes, "That was smart, because I wouldn't be surprised if the House of Aeas decided to try and invade and take the territory. They've been looking for an excuse to declare war on the orcs and take the kingdom for themselves."
Daily $8
I'll,
short. I may have solved the wall problem.
If you also want to include to their message that we would love for them to fight with us, then that would be appreciated.
Chantrell looks at you and goes, "None of the houses were willing to swear fealty or in an alliance without guarantee of a marriage."
How about you can guarantee them some land?
He goes, "They may take that. If they can get spoils, trade ports, treaties, valued goods, guaranteed trade rights."
I mean, they also have potential to work with who could be the future Nord King.
That's not
Most
bad.
important
Because
couldn't-
there
There
are
are many potential Nord Kings, Lucius.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
So,
they're not going to put all their eggs in a basket.
Oh,
However-
by the way, your brother sent forces here. We have a small mage corps that has joined on with us. We've got 4 mages. Each of them they're able to cast about 5th level or lower. But you know what? At least they're helping out with everything.
It's
do
very
any
kind of
know
him.
alchemy?
Please send him my thanks.
He nods. And Chantrell looks back at Temidar and goes, "What?"
Do any of them understand alchemy?
No, they're casters. They're here for supporting with both the healing aspect as well as being able to launch fireballs into the sky.
That's fair. The issue I was having is I didn't want to have to rely on just me for a potion. I might have to sit too.
As we got a tavern keeper, you might be able to talk to him about concoctions. He's used to mixing shit to make drinks, so maybe he'll be of use.
I might be able to teach him some basic healing potions, which will help us out if we can get the ingredients. Also, yes, the wall problem. Before I forget, Temidar sits on the small vial that is transformed and the piece of metal. This vial can transform anything into this metal for, right now, at least 4 hours. I haven't gotten a great look at it myself because I was focused on trying to get everything set up, because within a month, those scouts are going to start prodding the walls for defensive.
We could use that for, honestly, short-term weaponry, armor, walls, like you said. If you can produce enough of it, at least. You can turn
It's
wooden swords
temporary.
and leather armor. Man, it's almost like I just said temporary.
The issue is, I don't know if it's going to be able to be countered by magic, so thus far it's untested. I'd like to get it in front of the mages to see how it handles magic.
Alright,
This
well then it
won't
looks
be
like you know what you're
probably
doing. This will be very...
Um,
If you can get this squared away and be very useful, this could definitely help us in the coming war. And siege.
There's also the matter of, I did hand Chartreuse here, right name?
Chantrell?
Chantrell looks
sorry.
at you and goes, "How do you know my maiden name?"
I think I sold something to your brother once?
That's concerning, because I don't have a brother.
Chantrell Talash?
Neither does Hawkins.
Chantel Chartreuse.
It's his last name is Talash. I have
It
written
was
down.
before I was married, yeah.
Oh, you got married.
No, I mean, Chantrus was my original family name. Talash is
Oh.
my wife's family name.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, it's not a big
so
deal.
I'm going to also point out that I mentioned putting up spikes, as well as digging a trench around to help possibly make it lower sitting, make the walls higher sitting compared to the melee attackers. I've done about all I can. I'm not much of one for war. I'm usually trying to avoid it.
We could
I'm
put
only
this.
making an effort here to keep your ass alive.
We could probably have 2 sets of spikes then, one behind the trenches and and then another set in front of the trenches.
We should also
know-
probably get people out there digging pit traps at night. I'm about the only one I think that has dark vision.
Chantrell kind of stands up and goes, I don't recommend this usually. But why don't y'all just go kill the queen? Without her, the orcs don't have a unifying force, because the orc politics, the way it works, They basically they're unified through blood, but her sons are dead. They didn't have kids, so there's no next in line, which means that the clans would fight each other for dominance, and all
And
the
if we
women
can
would
also
try.
take over all of the clans, you'd rule everyone there.
The Pebble isn't for this plan.
You know, his best bet, I'd sneak into Strongdale and try and assassinate her before she leaves. You got 2 months. You should be able to get there within about
Let's.
half a month journey to walk there.
Hmm.
You can
I
probably
can
get there in a
sneak in,
week
definitely.
if you take a horse. You know, yeah, there you go. I don't know why. I mean, I think you do that. We can take on the army with, as he looks at Temedar's pushing. With that in, we can pour it on the walls, and you know, we can try and, as you said, pour it on weapons and see if we can use it. And what we should be able to hold, he goes, if you leave Sigrun behind, we'll probably be able to hold indefinitely. Women will hold this damn city whether or not the walls are still standing.
Fair. Along
We
with
do
all the
have
things behind.
we do have a warship being constructed. It will be done within a month's time.
Who the hell is able to design a warship in this day and age? Isn't Gull dead? He's the only one I knew of.
We met somebody back in that town we
You
were
met a
just
very
in, where I
kind
got-
hippo man.
You met
Yeah.
Carviel, that asshole? Is he still kicking?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and yes, he's still an asshole before you ask.
I
He was
hope
nice
so.
to me.
He's the best at his craft. You can't find a better boatsmith. You
And,
want a man to make you a vehicle, whether it be an animal that you're riding into battle or it's a ship you're sailing the skies with. He's the man to go to. Problem is, he's got the worst attitude. He once told the king of the Nords to go, shove it where the sun don't shine to his face.
He kept
Spent-
raising the price on me for a boat that may have been worth it, but definitely
You're-
needed repairs.
Well, Temidar, you're not the most charismatic person around.
I don't
Oh,
know
that
what your
thing-
guys' problem is. He said he liked me a lot. He was very nice.
He liked you because he likes the Scrofe. Let's get over
I
this. and move
did
on.
sign a contract with him that he'd be working with us.
That explains why a bunch of gifts showed up a few days ago. Oh, by the way, Carviel's a time wizard. If you didn't catch on to that when you met him, he's really good at magic.
Yeah, noticed. Didn't care at the time because I was trying to
Yeah,
get it.
he really took a liking to Sigrun.
Oh, he just likes strong people. He's
Strong
got like 4 wives. The man he managed the way GIF culture works is they hunt their wives basically in a sense. If they're able to overpower you and knock you out, I guess in an accepted or a duel between the two of them, then that you have to or the loser gets to decide what happens. In this case, it's usually a marriage. He's got like 7 kids walking around.
Huh. Well, they'll definitely be
Family man.
the advantage. Perhaps they. This is good. This is good. Making friends already. Definitely send out, if you can, just send out word that we are looking for volunteers.
Well, I don't think
But-
we're gonna find much. You got the fact that the Grand Ivory Federation is marching its entire force on the Empire Zarya, so those 2 fuckers are going to fight. The kingdoms of the Dragonborn ain't gonna be uniting anytime soon, let alone fighting under you.
What about adventurers? Send words out to
That's a dying breed right
taverns.
there.
You want me to try and get a bunch of people to just fight for gold, and that's it? Gold
Well,
and
that's why I
loot.
said That's why I said volunteers.
Alright, I mean, I can put out the word, but I don't promise you're gonna like it.
I mean, we can get what we can get, and maybe somebody worth our time might come in. If they ask for stuff, we'll see what we can do.
Alright, I'll put the word out that we're hiring all types. Any allies that I need to reach out to and call for? You gotta have someone.
Do you
Send
know the
word to.
circus?
The circus?
No, we are not. I do not want to talk to the
what
circus.
circus? There's no circus in town.
There will be. I'll send word to them. It'll be on my head for you. Don't worry, Hawken.
Okay. Send word to, if you can, the Scrofe.
What Scruffy? There's no nation left.
They're stragglers again, just like my people.
I mean, I can reach out the best I can, but most of them, if they're not enslaved by the Heli, they're enslaved by the Toth. Thoth have been turning them into magical abominations to use them in battle. Apparently, Scrofe make really good fucking tanks.
Yes, more or less, as we've experienced ourselves.
Definitely.
Hawken, with your newfound reach, you could try and persuade or ask for help from the 2 that saved the world news.
Huh. Yes,
Allies
yes.
that powerful might be good to deal with, and payment they might take might be something you're willing to give up.
Yes, what was it? Shogun
Shogun?
and Nick?
Yes, Nick was something of a furious fighter. When I last heard, he was in the wall on the walls during the fall of the Silver. During the fall of the Tiefling Empire. The Silver Songs.
Like a true adventurer who understands barely any politics, he forgets the name of the empire and goes, "Yeah, fuck, it's the Tiefling assholes."
Yeah, those fucks. Hemidar is frazzled right now thinking, so he's...
Demeter, we have allies with the Tieflings. Cool it.
Well, no, if he's willing to help, he also has the backing of the Nothi.
Yes, that could
I
also be
can't-
beneficial, yeah. Send word, if you
Darn,
can, Chanterelle, to this Shogun and Nick. See if they will be willing
That
to
their-
negotiate terms for their assistance.
You got their number? He looks at you and goes, "Because I don't know how the hell you want me to reach out to, this powerful wizard that served under a guy who's now a god. Kind of hard to get in touch with those kind of people. They don't just take in letters saying, 'Hey, we're looking
Throw a
for
whisper
help.'"
to the wind.
Which is why, Cameron, I was saying, send word out to taverns and just random places where adventurers meet, so hopefully they could see it.
You think a wizard that powerful is gonna be in a tavern? My
Well,
bet
that's
is that man's
known
probably
who-
looking for something. If you got something of value to him, he'd probably be able to contact you.
Also, pointing it out here, if the World News is now in the protection of the Ivory Alliance, I believe it's called.
Yeah, Grand Ivory Federation. Yeah.
Ah, thank you. 10-1, that's where Shogun put them, so they can get in touch with Shogun for you.
Oh, that's a confirmed actually. The World News is actually at the headquarters of the Federation.
And that's your best bet, is to hope
Yes,
to God that
yes.
you get a hold of him through them.
I do want to send a message to the Ivory Federation saying that we do not mean any harm. We do not declare war on everybody. That is not my
Stand
intention.
against you.
Well, I can send word out to them. Vasul's easy enough to get a hold of. Whether
Yeah.
he decides to take your word, to be honest, he's kind of wary of you and doesn't really take double talkers much, and you don't have the greatest reputation. Kind of
Oh,
a
I
sore
understand.
spot for Loxodon when you genocide an entire people, even if you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Send the letter in my name, then.
What would your name? Do they know you?
Probably not, but they may be more receptive to someone different.
Send it
You're
to
still,
Sigrid.
you're still, you're still with me.
Or send it in Sigrun's name.
Sigrun's probably a much more reliable person. Yeah, send it in Sigrun's name if you could, and see if they could also, see if they would be able to ask Shogun if he's willing to negotiate terms.
Okay, he writes it down and goes, "I'll send what I can. At the very least, maybe we'll get some assistance." The Empire Zarius offered to an alliance. They said the offering was that if you're willing to swear a vassalization after you manage to take the kingdom, they'll give you your tax rights, meaning you can print your own gold, and they just want trading rights with the Empire, and that you pay a tax to them annually. They won't require you to march or any men, they just need the income, but they're willing to offer full support of their military might that's not being put towards the front.
I'll definitely
Good
take that
idea.
into consideration. That is a great idea.
He nods.
But before I rush into anything, I definitely want to think about it.
I've also got a problem. We got 4 marriages lined up. 3 of which are for you, my liege, and one of which, and he looks over at Lucius, your heir.
And you said
They-
4
you're-
though.
there are people trying to get married to you.
Ah, yes, as he looks over at the pebble. There is another one. I don't think you want this one, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, best just put it on the table.
He goes, "Are you really sure you want me to bring this up? You kind of seem to have a sore spot with this lot."
It has to at least be talked about, does it not?
The King of the Helly offered the hand of one of his daughters to Hawken.
Oh, I'll gladly cut her head off. That'd be great.
She's
You know
here
what,
in town
I'll
under
take the hand.
diplomatic immunity, I guess. If you do kill her, that will declare war on the Heli, and they will bring their full might down on us. The king's kind of a
Didn't the-
sour pain in the ass.
I thought the Heli already wanted to declare war on us.
Technically, he has declared war on you. Technically, every nation in the world has declared war on you, minus the Nordic kingdoms and the Grand Ivory Federation. However,
This would be a way to dodge a problem.
they're
for
not
now.
moving
Listen.
the troops, and to be honest, the Heli outnumber everyone right now besides the Empire of Zardius. I would take their offer if I was in your shoes. She ain't a bad-looking gal, and she can do magic, so that means your offspring will be guaranteed to have a lot of powerful magic, and they'll have a position at court, and a right to the throne of the Heli. You guys, to be
Which
honest,
means that instead of taking over by force, you'll take over by bloodline.
the other two houses that are interested, as House of Aez has offered a daughter to you, my liege. The House of Swindon has offered a daughter to you, as well. And then for your heir, as he looks to Lucius, we have a Voli princess. And princess isn't the word I would personally use. She's kind of an asshole. But to be honest, nobility in general typically runs that way. He goes, she's a true tested warrior, I guess, if you wish. But she's kind of, the angrier type.
A raging woman.
Sure, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that.
He goes, do they have
Chantrell?
the Hensies bloodline, if that helps? So...
Well, with them talking about marriages, Teminar's gonna head off to find those mages and see what this metal can actually handle.
Would
Right now, it's
I
still not transformed back.
recognize the bloodline name?
Go ahead and give me a history check.
It doesn't have to do with Fey Fiend or Undead, does it?
Yes.
It does? Okay.
Yeah, Voli are technically fiends.
Well, it didn't really matter. It was an 11.
Hanses is the oldest bloodline of the Voli, supposedly dating in some cases back all the way to when the Heli and the Voli were one people, which means technically they're the only Voli bloodline that has a claim on the Heli territories. As far as it goes for the bloodline beyond that, not much would be known. The house notability is the fact that every member of the house, whether it be a bastard, it would be someone who is legitimate, whether it be like the 23rd son, they all have a lot of magic, and they all seem to specialize in kicking the shit out of demons and devils. So, they're a martial society in general, so they're not exactly weak. Although, I will say, you would know, Lucius, there's no female currently of the Hanses line that is known to in the world. The current queen that is ruling over the Voli has 4 sons. One of which is off gallivanting in the world and has been met in campaign, but he seems to be interested in chasing someone else. So.
That doesn't sound
I'll
of
leave.
interest to me.
I'll leave these talks to you guys. I will go search out those mages metal tested. Actually, do.
Yes, go ahead, Temidar. Chantrell, is there any place private that we may speak?
He looks around and goes, well, this is kind of private.
Just you and me.
Oh, my lord, I don't swing that way. I'm married.
I'm not talking about that. I got secrets. You're honestly probably the most trusted advisor at this point, and I feel like it'd be good for you to know.
He looks at Lucius and Pebble, who are
You already know.
still in the
I'm
room.
insulted and I'm not even fucking there.
Yeah, he looks at both of them and goes,
I'm walking out of the
That's
fucking
because
door
you
and I'm
fuckers already know. I'm talking about Ked Liz.
he goes,
Not a good idea to bring that up yet.
Well, we're talking about, oh yeah, you should marry the Heli. Like that Heli princess, would I have to kill their fucking dad?
don't worry, the YouTube comments are only upset for poor Lucius. But,
As they should be.
yeah,
You
Hawkins,
guys already know!
Most trusted
Chantrell
confidant.
kind of puts his hand on your shoulder, and he goes, From one older man to another, I don't need to know your secrets, my liege. My job is just to make sure your will is known on the world. Keep your secrets to you and your trusted mates. Who knows if I ever get captured, what they'll squeeze out of me.
You're a good man, Shantro.
Oh, no, I'm not. If I have my chance, I'm running away first chance I get when this battle goes sour. Only thing I promise is if we win, I'm gonna be here till the end. It's laughs.
Well, at least you're honest.
Yes. Well, my liege, I will always be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you right now, most of the men on those walls will run the moment those walls are breached. They ain't soldiers.
Well, I guess we ought to try to kill the Orc Queen then, huh? Break them, mentally and physically.
He goes,
I will hunt all of them down.
if you
in the
may,
night.
my liege, what do you plan to do? Are you and your party gonna head towards to kill the queen herself, or are you still gonna head out and gather more allies?
Gathering allies is important, but like you said before, it's gonna be difficult to withstand a siege. We could, but it'd be rough. Just as rough as trying to kill that queen. I know she's very powerful. Do you have any information on her?
When I said we could withstand a siege, I mean that if they are only attacking our walls, our men will run as soon as the walls are breached. They're not going to fight. They're not soldiers like us. They're here on reputation, of course. They're going to defend what they want because they want a new life, but they're not going to hold even no matter how much Sigrun's out there beating those men. There's no way.
God damn it!
Yes, I mean, ask your friends here. As he looks to Lucius and Pebble, and goes, they look like they've been in plenty of battles. I guarantee they know what I'm talking about. Peasants don't fight. They don't last. Best case you've got is they'll still shoot arrows when the walls go down, if you're lucky. If I had to give my advice on you, I'd take on the queen. And as far as what I know about her, she's large. She likes dwarves. And she's fucking mean. From what I understand, she took that throne by power alone. She is not someone to just stand by. Her sons were considered weaker than her, and I don't even think you could have taken her sons on in one-on-one combat. Maybe with all of y'all, but not by yourself. Best case you got, the rumors are true and she's a magic caster, and maybe she'll be a little easier to stab. Worst case, she's not a magic caster and she's just good at magic, and that's going to be a problem, because that means she's stronger than she looks. And that's not even counting her royal guard. I mean, her royal guard alone, I don't know if you've heard of her legendary soldiers, but she's got 2 of them there that I wouldn't want to put myself up against.
Well, I guess that puts it into 2 choices. We kill the queen, or Hawken over here marries somebody.
Or we fight and
That's
die.
one of the choices.
That's not an option.
Yeah, so to be honest, in my experience, it always ends up the option you don't want.
Do you want to die?
He sits down
No one wants to die.
and looks at the drink in front of him and goes, I don't plan to, but I don't plan to die next to him either, as he looks at Hawken.
Then there are 2 options.
Many don't.
Hawken, the way I see it, you either marry the House of Ayas or we figure out how to do this assassination.
He looks at Lucius, or Shantro looks at
I'll
Lucius.
be honest with you. It's not the queen that I'm worried about.
Hmm?
And if I see the motherfucker, it's on.
Are you talking about that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Shantro looks a little confused between the 3 of you.
Pebble is also a little lost.
Okay. Well, I understand. It's personal with that guy. I won't hold you back. Although, I'll try to speak some sense, like we did with Sigrun.
Well, if we're
If we're already-
taking on the queen, then he will be there and probably involved.
I think we should kill the queen.
He nods. Alright, I'll let Teg know. We'll continue training up and getting as many supplies as we can.
Yeah,
I'll
see
have the
about
letters
getting
sent
any
out.
forges set up and taking iron out of the dirt.
He nods and goes, I'll do the best that I can. Right now, most of them have been going to my auto gnome production, but I'll do what I can. As he nods.
Given my family history, would I know where any rich veins of iron or anything would be?
Actually, without even having to roll, you would know that the Orc lands, before they were taken over, it was really well known that the Vidan were in a very long golden age, if you will. Now, this doesn't matter to you, as this would just be known to the public in general. However, your family would know that the mountains that the Orcs took from the Dwarves are some of the richest iron deposits in the world. Also, some of the richest deposits for most minerals in the world, due to the influence of the magical desert to the north, and the fact that Trasks are supposedly the ones who cause these mountains. When they die, their bodies turn into the mountains. So, that at least that's how the old story goes. But yeah, so that you'd know these mountains are, like, the mountains to the north that are surrounding Strongdale, and Strongdale itself would be some of the richest and finest iron mines you could find in the world.
Well, some of the mountains to the north have great deposits if you need them, but not sure how accessible they'll be yet.
They'd probably be under constant fire from the orcs.
Shentrell nods and goes, the Orcs are crude with their weapon design, but they're good. They do know how to mine. If anything, those mines are probably being well worked. When if we do manage to take the lands, we'd be set for life. We'd never have to, as a kingdom, worry about anything for exportation. We could purely make our money on the mines alone.
That's beneficial.
So if you're gonna take on the Queen, he nods, then I guess you lot should get ready and get a good night's sleep. And tomorrow you should head out before the Queen heads to her army. I can give you amounts that'll get you there within 2 weeks, but that's the fastest unless you can figure out another way there.
Sounds good, and I don't believe my airships are, well, our airship's going to be ready.
He nods.
So that's the fastest ways I can think, unless the mages have something up their sleeve, which I doubt.
I'll let them know that you're curious about a circle to teleport. I'll let them have them start looking into research.
Thank you, Chandrell.
He nods. He kind of stands up, sets his cup down, and goes. And with that, he straightens himself. I am gonna go find a pint of ale, and no offense, but prettier company. He kind of goes walking off opening the doors.
What are you talking about? The pebble is the most beautiful.
I was say, as he walks away, Pebble brushes his hair. I don't mean I'm absolutely beautiful.
Chanchel looks at you up and down and goes, yeah, you're the prettiest man around here. Then as he opens the doors and walks out.
Damn right.
Damn right. Yes.
Alright. As a party, you lot get will get one action before tomorrow, or next session, in which you lot will get to decide on what you want to do that helps the city or benefits yourself. I give you the week to think on it, and that is actually where we're going to end session, because next session is going to be full of a lot of combat, a lot of stupidity, and probably, if anything, I'm going to guess, Hawkins' death. So, we thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed today's session.
If I stab him in the back.
And we hope to see you next time when Temidar dies. Have a good one, everyone.